It's estimated that there are currently more than 5,000 people unknowingly living with HIV in the UK. And in an effort to destigmatise testing for the disease, Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has become the first Western Prime Minister to openly take a home test.
And he was joined by the singer-songwriter Beverley Knight, who took a test alongside him, hoping to show how simple, quick and painless checking for HIV can be. Beverley's urging anyone who thinks they may have been exposed to HIV to take the test.
And Beverley joins us now alongside Dr. Hilary.
Morning, morning.
Good morning.
Now, Beverley, you
Yes.
have a very painful experience of losing someone, don't you, to
Yes.
HIV/AIDS. So
Yeah.
that must drive your sense of let's stop this happening to anyone else.
It's my primary driver. Losing Tyrone in February of 2003 was the most painful loss. I can't even explain how hard it was. It was seismic for me. And knowing that it was something which would ravish him in such an awful way. So because I've been there in that dark place, I'm doing everything I can to prevent anybody else being in that position. And things have changed so much over the years, which is wonderful. So the testing kits and what we have now just didn't exist in the way they do today. So that's why I'm here, just to say, please get tested. Yes. This is the time.
Do you think the stigma has changed over those 20 years, or is that still there?
The stigma is the biggest stumbling block that the world faces when it comes to HIV in general. In my opinion, the stigma will stop people from going forward to be tested. That's why you have that figure of 5,000 people walking around not knowing that they have HIV. We have to break the stigma, which is why the PM doing a test on Friday was such a big deal, such a big deal.
Dr. Hilary, the other thing that's massively changed is treatment.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I remember in the 80s, we all saw the videos and there was that sense that you were not going to get through it.
Sure.
And I wonder whether that's one of the reasons that holds people back from finding out, because they're so scared of what the outcome would be. But now, what is the treatment like?
Modern treatment has made such a huge difference. Most people can live with HIV and lead a long, near-normal, healthy life if they're monitored and if the treatment is taken at the right time. So this has made a massive difference. You know, it's no longer the death sentence that people used to think it was. So HIV is the virus which can gradually damage the immune system. But if you're treating it, you can make the viral load undetectable. The virus becomes untransmissible. So those 5,000 people are at risk of passing this on at the moment because they don't know. There are no symptoms, apart from the early flu-like symptoms, which some people get within 2 to 6 weeks of first exposure. But other than that, there are no symptoms for years and years and years until they might develop AIDS. But with treatment, they won't. So it's really important that people know this. The home testing kits are there. Keir Starmer's done it. You've done it. It's so simple to do.
Who are we saying should do it, Dr. Hilary? Are we saying that everybody should?
Anyone who thinks they've ever been exposed should take a test. And most people would prefer to do a home test than go to the sexual health clinic or to see the GP. It can take about a minute to do. And you get a negative or a positive result, which you can then follow up with subsequent results if it's positive. But, you know, anyone who thinks they've ever been exposed or at risk and is still at risk should take a test.
So this is a free home test during this week.
Yes.
You've got one with you, Dr. Hilary. Are you able to just talk us through what it would involve, how complicated it is to test yourself?
It's not complicated at all. There's the lancet. There's the lancet. OK, and you just prick your fingertip for a drop of blood, which you then put into the #1 bottle, and then you shake it. You pop it into the little pad there until the fluid disappears. Then you shake the second one, put that into the pad, then the third one, and within a minute you've got your result.
Straightforward.
It's so easy.
There and then?
Yeah.
So you don't have to send it away and wait to hear?
No. There are tests where you can send them away, and there are saliva tests too, but this is a good test, gives you, you know, an accurate, 99% accurate result.
Yeah.
Beverley, we've had all this progress.
Yes.
And so much international aid and tackling HIV all around the world. And now we have a president in America who doesn't want to fund USAID and all of that international work. I mean, how do you feel about that?
How do I feel? Pretty disgusted. I have to call it as it is. This is something which we can get on top of. In this country, we're trying to get on top of it by 2030. It's not insurmountable. We can do this if we take hold of the testing that we have, which is available, as Dr. Hillary's just shown you. It's so quick, so easy. We can move forward and we can stop new transmissions by 2030. To have a man in charge of the free world who won't even address basic healthcare provisions for millions and millions of Americans, let alone HIV. And we all know about the stigma that is thrown at specifically the LGBTQ communities and other minorities, black people like me, is shocking, shocking. So America looks like it will be trailing behind, well, certainly us, if they don't get on with it.
Well, thank you for coming in. Thank you, Dr. Hillary, for showing us this kit. Remarkable that the Prime Minister has done that on camera. It's a very different message, isn't it?
Maybe other world leaders will follow his example.
I hope so.
If you are affected by that issue, or indeed any of the issues that we've been discussing this morning, you can find advice and support at itv.com/helplines.